back to the Queen Speaks.
What's
We are
up?
out here behind the keyboard right now, getting some insight on.
Accountability in relationships.
So we're gonna hop right into it.
Hey, what's going on?
So, what's one thing you feel like you could take accountability for in your past relationship that may help you in the next one?
That's a good question. Probably more so expressing myself, like right when something bothers me, and then just addressing it right away.
Communication.
Communication.
Yeah, sometimes you get standoffish.
Telling the truth, to be honest. I used to always lie about how I felt so I didn't have to get into confrontations.
I got better at my patience and my listening skills for sure.
Me, I think if somebody tell me they're not ready, don't try to pour the potential into them, because if they don't think they're ready, I can't make them be ready.
I mean, in previous relationships, accountability-wise, I could have been a little bit more understanding.
Probably being more faithful. I never got caught up with anything, but what I realized is if you're not faithful, you're not putting your full energy into that person. How to do
Like,
that.
what made you learn that? Was that your partner leaving, or was it?
Probably just getting older.
A lot of times when you're coming together, both sides is independent.
Right.
So it takes time to establish that communication and build the trust.
I'm into the situation. For me, I feel like if I'm being played,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna just end up.
Well, did you communicate the feeling, or did you just
Well, that-
assume?
Well, that's what happened. I didn't.
Okay. So you more so kind of held it back and
Yeah.
just let it all pile up?
Not really pile up, but I kind of like to express it when I'm ready to talk about it versus just like handling it right away.
If I was getting bored, I'd still pretend. It's just leading people on, really.
If you cheating them in any kind of way, any energy you gave somebody else, you could have gave them. Y'all relationship could have been better.
Just address stuff head on.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm more very active with that now. Like I just.
As soon as it bothers you.
Yeah. Why you didn't tell me? So like yeah.
Right, we were just watching Aladdin and now you're flipping out.
Just make them feel like they're being understood and heard. Like, once you do that, it really makes it a lot easier. Like, y'all just want to be heard most of the time. It don't even matter if y'all right or wrong. If you're heard, y'all really be straight. So I got better with that.
You listen to us?
Yeah. Always honest,
What-
y'all
what's
smarter.
your-
Y'all a
what's-
little bit smarter though.
You think so? We appreciate that. Thank you.
Y'all been smarter. I'm just saying,
He's just not coming to realization.
yeah. We might
Okay.
fake the funk, but we know what the deal.
I was trying to like make somebody see, look, you're so good at this, why not? You know what I'm saying? But like later
Trying to
down the
make them see
line,
their potential.
right? And they wasn't ready to see their potential. Later down the line, it was just turmoil.
Why you do it like that? I'm mad at you now.
I was immature. Even if I did her dirty, that don't mean I didn't love her.
Do you feel like you'd be faithful in the future?
For sure. The thing is, you kind of got to handle your own like dirty laundry. In my life, I wasn't ready.
Right.
I wasn't at that point.
Right.
On my terms, you know what I'm saying? It was things I had to, traumas I had to grow from, things I had to heal from, and understand myself better. So,
Like being
naturally, in the black community, we have a lot of toxic relationships. I grew up seeing like the old school way of what a man was, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you gotta realize like,
You might get bravado and be like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing, but then you be like, okay, I'm gonna do what she said.
Yes, I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna let her know I did it. Right.
You'll tell your
Exactly.
boys like, nah, we gonna do it, we gonna turn up. And
Right.
then you be like, nah, she said like,
Right,
nah,
she
I'm
said
not
I can't go.
Yeah,
You know what? I love where the black community is going. I'm getting off topic, but like all the interviews we did today, like this is the stuff that we need in our community.
for sure, I think the family unit has to be like our focal point.
Staple back together. If you was not giving 100% to that person, it's like that person is in the place where they can't even give you 100% because all they focus on is what's going on.
Right.
So you can't get 100% out of them. So y'all just
Cheating
all
each
over the
other.
place. Yeah.
And
all
then
over
blame the
place.
other
She
person.
always stressed, depressed, trying to figure out should she get you back, should she not, should she leave, and then you over there running the streets coming back trying to figure out why y'all arguing, you want peace in your house and you can't even get peace. And then at the end of the day you walking away like,
What was the point?
I don't feel fulfilled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
you learn.
So you got the
learn.
message eventually.
Yeah, you learn like for real. Like you learn like it really just about communication and listening skills. So like sometimes being a man will think that you got to be so dominant in certain areas, and you really don't got to.
all right, and so we're back. I love when our community come together.
I do too, and a lot of them kind of not necessarily said the same thing, but were genuine in their answers. Like, I could have done this better,
Right.
and I do that now, or
Like, just the sincerity alone. And afterwards, we had long conversations with
Right.
each one of them, and the desire to continue to build a black household. And we're all connected. We're all thinking the same, trying to pull this together. I mean, I was impressed.
I was impressed too. They genuinely wanted to keep moving in the positive direction. They didn't stay stuck and stagnant and continue to repeat the same cycle. So
But-
I think that's really good.
But see, that's why I like coming out here because it's nothing like what you're seeing on the internet.
No, what you're seeing on the internet is, they don't care, they don't listen to us.
Well, we
Black
don't have to
women are
repeat that. We don't have to
nagging,
feed into that
crazy.
because that's not what's happening out
Not
here.
at all,
and
clearly.
I love to see it on both ends from men and women. Now, the reason why we're talking about accountability is because we did not want to put any focus on what another person did wrong or
Right.
things like that. It's so important to take accountability for your actions only.
That's the only person you're responsible for at the end of the day is you.
Yeah, so when people
So-
make these comments such as, I don't know what you felt, I'm calling you out because we had a conversation about this.
Go ahead.
But when people make the comments such as, what did they do to me though to make me go crazy and stuff like that, they are literally hitting your triggers because once you get that close to the person,
They know.
you're now exposed to each other's triggers. You know what can drive you crazy. So at the end of the day, it is your job to not allow that trigger to be hit by simply just making the decision. You can walk away or you can stay.
You have to exercise at that point in time. You have to exercise your
Self-control.
emotional control.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily self-control. That's
yeah.
two different things. Emotional control, because you
Right.
can have self-control all day,
Right.
but to have control over your emotions is something totally different. So if you don't exercise emotional control in every situation, you're always going to jump off the deep end, and then people are going to be like, oh, they have no self-control. When that's not true. You don't know how to control your emotions.
And that's true, and that's a lot of things that everybody, I could probably say not 100% relationship struggle with is emotional control, because that person is directly connected to your emotions.
Exactly.
And so when they hit your triggers, it really bothers you because of the power that you guys have given to each other.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, I know from past relationships, as far as me taking accountability, I could have taken accountability for just knowing when to walk away.
Yeah.
Just knowing when to walk away. A lot of times we stay, we know it's over. And I saw something on the internet like, we'll be over it and we'll still stay until we know that it's 100% over with, so we can move on easier.
Emotionally, it has to be. I just had to take accountability for the things that I did. It was dumb. Why am I still here? Like, I would be emotionally detached. I will be physically detached. I won't even care about you. And I'm still stuck in this like robotic situation, it's systematic, right? And for years I would stay, and it's just like, it's not working for me. I don't give a fuck. Like, I really don't. And it's hard to walk away, but once you get to the point where you just don't care if this nigga get hit by a bus or vice versa, then you could just leave and you don't have to stay. And that's what I can take accountability for. I stayed way.
I don't want to tell people that, because I think that
I should have.
I think that when you don't care if he get hit by a bus. See, the
That's
difference,
figuratively
the opposite of love.
speaking.
The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So, I know you was figuratively speaking,
Yeah.
but
I don't want you to go out there and get hit by a mortar.
but you know,
okay?
some people are gonna take you dead seriously. And that's why I want to clean it up real
Disclaimer:
quick.
I do not want anybody to walk outside, step off a curb, get hit by a bus, a taxi cab, a lift, nothing.
And then ex-girlfriend get the phone call. And be like,
Right.
I don't give a fuck. I'm
Right.
not, like,
That's not what I'm saying.
yeah.
but
So. What the opposite of love is not hate, is indifference. So
right.
if we really didn't give a fuck about something, we just would not give a fuck. I'm not saying I didn't give a fuck that you died,
Right.
but we wish you well. Like, we just honestly wish you well. Like,
It's just not
it
there
didn't
no
work out
more.
with me and you. There's
Right.
a reason why it didn't work out. I'm glad that we was able to go on a journey together and learn something from the situation. We needed this part of our journey in order to get to our ultimate, like, what we need to accomplish in life with our last partner, our potential partner.
Right.
And so
Right.
it's a lot of growth in that journey. So
Yeah.
instead of just saying, hey, F you for life, it's like, you know what, we could part ways in peace, because at the end of the day, we love our black community. We love you
Yeah.
as a black man. It's just me and you, not a connection.
We want you to succeed, and what people don't understand, when you hold on to something for so long, you could be potentially blocking the person that they're supposed to be with and that you're supposed to be with and be able to grow. So you can't stay stuck and stagnant forever in those dead end relationships. You know it's not going nowhere. You know he don't want to be there, you don't want to be there, and y'all just stay for comfortability. That's not okay.
And I know the toxic shit can be a thrill. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes
It's fun.
It's a
You know,
thrill.
you in there throwing pillows at the
drives-
nigga and he throwing
you
pillows
know,
back. Like, it's fun.
It be the
But-
moments, but when you mature and you
Yeah.
realize, like, hey, I ain't got no time to be wasting with this fucking
It's not-
craziness.
toxic is
like,
not okay.
You know, it's really taking me downwards. It's taking me to a spiral. I could accomplish
Right.
so much, even in my personal life, with the right partner.
Exactly.
You know, my
or
business.
even just by yourself.
Yeah.
You can accomplish
Perfect.
a lot by yourself, so that when somebody else does try to come in, you already know what you're not gonna put up with. You know what you're looking for, and vice versa. And then, because you'll be attracting that. You'll be attracting somebody that knows what they're looking for and knows what they want to do and are doing exactly that. So,
And I think that's another thing I took away from my past relationship was just self-love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for a long time, you know, I was doing things because I wanted that person to love me, when all it took was for me to love myself. And then I would attract the person that genuinely would love me without me desiring for them to love me, just naturally. So that's another thing I definitely learned from my old relationship. It's to the point where we got to be selfish. And I know they
In
got
a
a
good
whole...
way.
And I know they got, and it's not selfish in the sense like, I'm gonna run and get something to eat and I ain't gonna tell you I'm getting something to eat, I come back and eat in your face.
Yeah.
It's not a malicious selfish. It's more like putting you first. Understanding how important it is to love yourself first so you wouldn't tolerate no shit from nobody else. And what I mean by selfish is that if you don't put yourself first, you cannot do nothing for nobody else. There's people who put people first all their lives and end up dying in a hospital, can't even help them no more. You know, you can't even help the other person if you're not taken care of.
You can't fully expect somebody to love you the way that you want to be loved if
not
you
showing
don't
yourself
know how you want to be loved. If you've never loved on yourself, taken yourself out, bought yourself something, you know, treated yourself the way that you want a man to treat you or a woman to treat you, then there's nothing for somebody to do for you, because you won't even know if they're doing it wrong because you don't know how to do it right. You've never done it for yourself. So,
and self-love also teaches you, I'm not going to settle. I know, like she said, I know what I want. I know what is going to keep me on this path of happiness in myself, and I can't settle for anything that's going to take me downhill again. At all. So taking accountability, and I love it. Like I said, I love the whole conversation. The Black community is doing very well. I think we're getting our self-love, and I don't want to get off topic. Yeah. So,
so just make sure that we always take accountability for what we do, for our actions. You can't blame your actions on somebody else, because if your actions cause you to go to jail, nobody's going to go to jail for you but you. If your actions cause you to hurt somebody, nobody hurt that person but you. If your actions cause you to hurt you, you have nobody else to blame. So always make sure that whatever you're doing, you're taking accountability for that, period.
And so we had a whole conversation, she and I, up there, about responding versus reacting. So responding is exactly what we're talking about right now. Like, really taking a whole look at the full situation and saying, you know what, how do I respond to this so it's the most effective way where we both win? Even if that's walking away. Like, I really had to look at one of my ex-boyfriends and really look at them and say, I'm not the one for you. Now, you can really, really love somebody and it's not the right love for them. Like, you could, and it makes it worse because you're trying your very hardest to love them according to how they want to be loved, and it's not sticking. It's like throwing something against the wall and they keep on falling down. And so when you realize you get to a point where, like, you cannot match their love, and there's love there. Let's not take away that there's love there. It's just not a match love. So you want to really be able to take a step back and respond instead of reacting, because that's a lot of toxic shit come from reacting. Just like you find yourself always arguing because you can't figure it out. You find yourself just in this toxic situation and you're just reacting and causing all the things that you look at in the future and be like, damn, I could have handled this differently in many ways, but ultimately this was not a good thing for he and I. And if I really love this person, I will let them go find somebody who can love them according to how they want to be loved, because I can't figure it out.
I mean, just, a little disclaimer. When we first had this conversation, we did it on camera. We couldn't post it because I reacted instead of listened and responded.
Yeah, so we don't want to post it. Not necessary.
It was bad. I had to take accountability for that. It was terrible.
And that's accountability in many ways. And friendships, as parents, and we can get into that in another episode, but as parents, we do not, I don't want to say we
react instead of respond to our children a lot of the time.
And it causes a lot of trauma, and we go through our whole adulthood
trying to figure out why we feel this way about something.
Why we a certain way.
Actually because of something that your mother did or your father did, and
we go through our whole adulthood like
traumatized
and don't even realize it. We got to keep on like every single day we figuring out something new about why we act the same way we do.
And then that once we started doing that and figuring that out, it has a lot to do with how I treat my kids, because I don't want them to grow up and be like, I'm gonna get a girl like that because that's how my mother treated me. I don't want this girl coming to my house yelling her neck off, you know what I'm saying? Or treating me crazy, because I'm going to snatch all of that off. Her esophagus, the Adam's apple in the back of her throat, all of that's coming out.
And this is a whole different episode. We can do accountability as parents as well, because I would love to have that conversation. But the point is, like, taking accountability comes in all different relationships, work, personal, but we also want to just keep in mind that taking accountability is for you, not the other person. It is for your growth and it's for your benefit, so that you guys can find the attachment style or the love language that works where it's successful.
Exactly.
All about building a Black household.
Yes.
My name is Naomi and Nate.Herring. I almost said N again. My name is Naomi, Nate.Herring on all social media platforms.
And I am Natasha, and that is Natasha B on TV. Like I said before, the letter B, not B.
I'm going to type it down below. Just say it.
I like to explain the rudeness. We will see y'all later. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your grandparents about it. They'll love it.
especially if they need help with taking accountability, especially the intricate piece of like.
If you have a friend that cannot say they were wrong and they was dead ass wrong, they need to watch this.
All right, y'all. Be
Bye.
blessed. Bye. Next week. We'll see you next week.
Blessings
Same time.
to all, because the queendom has spoken.
We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye bye.
I'm gonna get a crown.